In 1976, an entire senior class walked into their yearbook photo and never walked out. These aren't ghost stories whispered around campfires. They're red-stamped police reports, yellowed missing persons flyers, and one sealed evidence locker that still gathers dust in a quiet Ohio town. 28 students, one teacher, went between the click of a shutter and the echo of a gym door. Every 40 seconds ahead, you'll get a fresh clue, a deeper chill, or a detail that keeps you wide awake under the covers. Let the facts settle in like evening fog. Our first breadcrumb? A single Polaroid, face up on the 50-yard line, edges curling, no fingerprints, no footprints, just 29 empty bleachers staring back. Picture Willow Creek, Ohio, on a crisp April morning in 1976. The kind of town where the biggest drama is whether the Dairy Queen will add a new swirl flavor. Bell-bottoms swish along cracked sidewalks, transistor radios crackle with the Eagles, and every porch swing creaks in gentle rhythm. At Willow Creek High, the senior class is buzzing. 28 kids, one beloved teacher, all headed for the gym and the annual yearbook photo that will immortalize their glory days. Let's meet a few of them, the way only a faded purple ink yearbook can. Tommy Alvarez, quarterback, voted most likely to marry his truck. His quote reads, "Life's a highway, and I'm flooring it." Beside him, Lisa Chen, debate captain, deadpanned, "I came, I argued, I conquered." Then Marisol Vega, yearbook editor, who wrote, "If these pages could talk, they'd need a therapist." Light chuckles ripple through the bleachers as everyone files in, sneakers squeaking on polished wood. The air smells like cafeteria tater tots, chalk dust, and that cheap cologne the boys doused on like it was holy water. Mr. Hargrove, their history teacher, stands front and center. 42, corduroy jacket with elbow patches, the kind of guy who quotes Hemingway between pop quizzes. He claps once, sharp, familiar, and the seniors settle like pigeons on a wire. "All right, you hooligans," he grins. "Try not to blink. This one's going in the Smithsonian." Laughter again, easy and warm. Someone's Polaroid camera flashes early, a girl squeals about her hair. Normal. Perfectly, beautifully normal. The photographer, Mr. Dunlap, a local who shot every prom since Eisenhower, adjusts his tripod. He's all business in a plaid vest, muttering about light meters. Kids shuffle into rows, jocks in back, drama club up front, band nerds squeezed wherever they fit. A janitor props the doors open for the breeze. Sunlight stripes the floor like golden piano keys. Rotary phones in the office stay silent, no one's late. No one's missing. Yet. Take a breath. Let the comfort sink in. These are real kids. Real dreams. Tommy wants a garage. Lisa's eyeing Harvard. Marisol's saving for a Nikon. Mr. Hargrove promised to drive the graduation float himself. The gym clock, big and round above the scoreboard, clicks to 9:17 a.m. and stops. No one notices. Not yet. The second hand freezes like it's holding its breath. Dunlap raises his viewfinder. Eyes up, smiles on, history in 3. The room quiets to a hush you can almost taste. Rubber soles, bubble gum, teenage nerves. Someone whispers, "Don't mess this up, Alvarez." Tommy flips a playful middle finger. Laughter bubbles, then settles. The photographer's finger hovers over the shutter. One collective inhale. Then the photographer raised his camera. The shutter snaps like a bone. Light blooms white, then fades. For one heartbeat, the gym is a snow globe. Chalk dust suspended, sneaker soles mid-squeak, 29 mouths frozen in half smiles. Then the flashbulb pops again, softer, like a sigh. Mr. Dunlap lowers the camera, blinks. "Hold it. Something's off." He squints through the viewfinder. The lens carries a thumbprint smudge no one remembers making. 40 seconds in. First breadcrumb. He wipes it with his shirtail, but the glass stays cloudy, as if the air itself left a fingerprint. 9:17:03. Lisa Chen's digital watch, cutting jag Casio, a gift from her engineer dad, blips once and dies. She taps it, frowns. The battery was new yesterday. No one hears her. The room is still exhaling from the flash. 40 seconds later, second breadcrumb. Mr. Hargrove's smile falters. Not dramatically, just the left corner of his mouth twitches, like a record skipping. He recovers, claps again. One more for safety, kids. His voice is steady, but the cords in his neck stand out. Third breadcrumb, 40 seconds on the dot. Dunlap reloads the film. The metallic clack of the camera back echoes too loud, bounces off cinder block walls, returns thinner. The janitor in the doorway shifts his weight. The doors, propped open with rubber wedges, ease shut on their own. No wind. Fourth breadcrumb. The kids reset. Tommy Alvarez hoists himself onto the back riser, plants a foot beside Marisol's shoulder. She elbows him. Watch the hair. Grease lightning, and he laughs. But the sound dies halfway out, swallowed by the rafters. Fifth breadcrumb. Laughter with no echo. Dunlap raises the camera again. Through the viewfinder, he sees them perfectly. 28 seniors, 1 teacher, all accounted for. He presses the shutter. Flash. Whiteout. When the light collapses, the bleachers are empty. Dunlap staggers back. The tripod legs scrape like claws. Jesus. His voice cracks. The word hangs, unanswered. He spins, searching for the prank, the trapdoor, the anything. Nothing. Only the faint smell of ozone and warm tater tots drifting in from the cafeteria vent. He is the only witness. Later, in the police station, he will repeat the same sentence until it frays. They were there. I saw them. Then they weren't. His hands will shake so hard the Polaroid he snapped. His back up flutters to the table like a wounded bird. Let's slow the tape. Replay the final 3 seconds frame by frame. Frame 1, 28 faces, 1 teacher, all sharp. Frame 2, the flash ignites. Frame 3, the light is still blooming, but the risers are bare. Not blurred, not faded, gone. The wooden benches gleam with fresh varnish, no scuff marks, no indentations from 24 teenage backsides. Sixth breadcrumb, delivered mid-flash. Dunlap develops the safety shot that night in his darkroom above the pharmacy. He agitates the tray with trembling fingers. The image rises like a ghost. 28 seniors, Mr. Hargrove front and center, everyone exactly where they should be. Perfect focus, perfect exposure. Except, count the shadows on the gym floor. 28 bodies, 29 shadows. The extra one stretches long and thin, pointing toward the exit no one used. Seventh breadcrumb, 40 seconds after the last. Back in the gym, the clock stays locked at 9:17 a.m. The second hand trembles, trying to move, failing. The janitor swears he locked the doors at 9 a.m. sharp for the photo. Now they stand ajar, a slice of hallway light cutting across the floor like a scalpel. Eighth breadcrumb. Dunlap pockets the Polaroid, heart jackhammering. He steps onto the risers. The wood is warm, body warm, yet no heat lingers in the air. He kneels, presses a palm to the bench. A faint vibration, like a tuning fork struck minutes ago. Ninth breadcrumb. He looks up. The scoreboard lights flicker once. 9, 17 in red LEDs, then go dark. The gym plunges into its own dusk. Somewhere far off, a rotary phone begins to ring, slow and deliberate. It rings 29 times. 10th breadcrumb, right on schedule. Dunlap backs toward the exit. His heel catches the rubber doorstop. It rolls, clatters, stops against something that isn't there. He doesn't look down. He's already running, camera strap flapping like a broken wing. The Polaroid, left on the developer tray, dries under the safe light. 28 faces smile out, innocent, immortal. Beneath them, 29 shadows pool like spilled ink, the extra one reaching, until the edge of the photo cuts it off mid-grasp. The gym doors burst open at 11:42 a.m. when the first parent arrives for early dismissal. Mrs. Chen, Lisa's mother, still in her nurse's scrubs, calls out, "Honey, traffic's light. Let's beat the lunch rush." Her voice ricochets off empty benches. Silence answers. She steps inside, sensible shoes squeaking where 28 pairs should have. The smell of tater tots is stronger now, almost cloying, like the cafeteria is breathing. By noon, the parking lot is a carnival of station wagons and panicked horns. Mr. Alvarez guns his pickup to the curb, leaps out still wearing his mechanic's coveralls streaked with axle grease. "Tommy," he bellows. The name bounces back smaller. Parents flood the hallway, clutching permission slips like talismans. Someone smells ozone, someone else swears the lights dimmed for half a second. Normal chaos, the kind every small town knows when the fire drill goes wrong. The janitor, Mr. Kowalski, finds the first physical proof that something is deeply, quietly broken. 28 Letterman jackets hang in perfect rows along the coat hooks, sleeves aligned, varsity pins glinting. One still holds the shape of shoulders. Tommy's, number 12. The zipper is half down, as if the boy started to shrug it off and simply forgot to finish. Kowalski lifts it, warm. The fabric radiates body heat, yet the bench beneath is cool. He sets it down exactly as he found it, afraid to disturb the outline of absence. Police radios crackle, live at 12:17 p.m. Officer Delaney, who coached Little League with Mr. Hargrove, takes the call. Possible runaway pact, the dispatcher says. Delaney's cruiser screeches in first, lights painting the brick walls red blurred. He strides the gym perimeter, boots thudding. No scuff marks on the floor, no gum wrappers, no stray ponytail holder. The bleachers look freshly waxed, as if the building inhaled and held its breath. Search dogs arrive at 1:05, 2 German shepherds named Scout and Ranger. They circle the gym, noses low, tails uncertain. Scout sits beside the scoreboard and whines. Ranger paws at the exit door, then refuses to cross the threshold. Their handler kneels, confused. They've lost the scent entirely, like it drops off a cliff. Resolution hint number 1. Professionals on the scene, procedure in motion. Take a slow breath, the system is working. The FBI rolls in by dusk, 2 agents in crisp windbreakers, briefcases heavy with forms. They cordon the gym with yellow tape that flutters like birthday streamers. Flashlights sweep the rafters, the ventilation grates, the crawl space beneath the bleachers. Resolution hint 2. Big guns, bigger questions. Parents huddle under floodlights, passing thermos coffee, telling one another it's a senior prank gone too far. Someone starts a prayer circle. The night feels almost manageable. Let's examine the evidence, shall we? Picture a gentle piano under these words, the kind that plays in dentist waiting rooms. Fact 1. Security gates at both ends of the school were padlocked from the inside, chains intact, no tool marks. Fact 2. The photographer's film shows 28 students at 9:17 a.m. The developed print is time-stamped 9:17:03. 3 seconds later, 29 people were gone. Fact 3. Every window is painted shut since a 1972 vandalism spree, glass unbroken, screens in place. The numbers should comfort us. They don't, because here's the undercut. No footprints lead away from the risers. Not in dust, not in the sawdust the janitor scattered that morning to mop up a spilled Coke. No fibers caught on splinters. No struggle. The dogs refuse to track beyond the free throw line. The agent's Geiger counter stays silent. The thermostat reads a steady 71 degrees. Everything is exactly as it should be, except for the 29 missing heartbeats. Night deepens. Parents are sent home with pamphlets on teenage runaways. The gym lights stay on, harsh and fluorescent, turning the empty benches the color of bone. Kowalski locks up at 11 p.m., pockets the key, and still hears the faint squeak of sneakers that aren't there. Weeks later, when the raw edges have dulled to a bruised ache, families gather in living rooms to watch home movies from that morning. Little siblings waved at the camera on the front lawn. Grandmas captured the seniors piling out of cars. Every tape, VHS, Super 8, even Aunt Rita's clunky Betamax, ends at the exact same frame, a freeze on the gym door swinging shut at 9:16:58. The picture stutters, snow fills the screen, and the timestamp burns 9:17:00 in orange digits. No one pressed stop. No one ran out of film. 29 separate recordings. One identical death. The agents file their report. No evidence of foul play. No evidence of any play. The file is stamped, sealed, and shelved beside other American anomalies. Lights over Phoenix. Footprints on a Devon beach. Willow Creek settles into a hush that will last decades. But the jackets still hang in the equipment room, sleeves perfectly aligned, waiting for shoulders that never return. And every April, when the cafeteria serves tater tots, the smell drifts a little too far down the hallway, as if the building itself is trying to remember. 7 years pass like a held breath. 1983. A groundskeeper mowing the football field hits something metallic with the blade. Sparks fly the mower coughs. He kneels in the clipped grass and lifts a silver class ring, 1976 etched inside the band, initials T.A. Tommy Alvarez. The stone is cracked but warm, as if it rested inches below the turf since morning dew. Police log it, photograph it, return it to Mr. Alvarez, who cradles it like a newborn. Hope flickers. Someone buried it recently. A message. A prank. Finally surfacing. The ring fits Tommy's old Letterman jacket perfectly. Then the lab report lands. No skin cells, no soil, no time. The metal is factory fresh. Dread settles back in, heavier. Cut to voiceover. Soft, aged. I was 9 when Tommy vanished, says Carla Alvarez, now 49, recorded in her kitchen over coffee that steams like 1976 fog. I kept his room exactly the same. Dust grew on the model cars. The ring felt like a heartbeat in my palm, then nothing. Her words linger, a lullaby with teeth. 16 more years. 1999. An anonymous letter arrives at the Willow Creek Gazette, postmarked Cleveland, no return address. Inside, a single Polaroid. The gym, empty, but the scoreboard reads 9:17 a.m. in red LEDs that weren't installed until 1995. On the back, block letters. They are still waiting. The photo paper is crisp, unyellowed. Lab tests date the chemicals to 1976 stock. Hope again, someone knows. Dread. Someone has been inside the sealed gym, untouched since the padlocks went on. Voiceover. Marisol Vegas' younger brother, Louis, now a sound engineer in LA. I was 6. I remember Marisol's laugh like wind chimes. The letter came the week I turned 23. I drove all night to see it. The scoreboard in the picture. I helped install those lights in 95. They weren't there in 76. His voice cracks, then steadies. I still check the time at 9:17 a.m. every morning. Another leap. 2016. A true crime podcast. Gone in a Flash. Drops episode 12. The host reads a listener voicemail left at 3:04 a.m. I was a sophomore in 76. I skipped the photo, dentist appointment. That night, I dreamed the gym floor opened like a mouth and swallowed them. Same dream every April 15th for 40 years. Last night, the mouth spoke. It said, "Tell them we're on time." The host traces the call to a payphone outside a Des Moines bus station. The booth was removed in 2001. Hope, a survivor's guilt confession. Dread, the dream spreads. Within weeks, the subreddit r/Willow Creek 76 lights up. Unrelated users, truck driver in Oregon, librarian in Wales, retiree in Florida, post identical transcripts. Same mouth, same phrase, same date. Sleep studies rule out coincidence. The dreams sync to the second. Carla Alvarez joins the thread at 2:17 a.m. Tommy used to say time was a suggestion. I think he was wrong. TikTok. User at Creek Whispers, 1.2 million followers, uploads a 30-second clip filmed on a phone propped against the chain-link fence. The abandoned gym at night, windows dark. Then the interior lights strobe. Short, perfect Morse. The caption, translated. Still here. The pattern repeats every 9.17 seconds. Commenters flood in. I was walking my dog and felt my watch stop. My Ring camera caught the same flicker 400 miles away. The video trends globally for 72 hours, then vanishes. Account deactivated. Metadata scrubbed. Hope. Proof of life. Dread. Proof of reach. Voiceover. Lisa Chen's sister, Amy, now a therapist in Seattle. I treat trauma. I know dissociation, but 30 people dreaming the same sentence? That's not a memory. That's transmission. She pauses, ice clinks in a glass. Last week, a client described the gym mouth. She's never been to Ohio. The heaviest unknown weights in the library archives. Every year since 1977, Willow Creek High prints the yearbook exactly as planned. Page 42, Senior Portraits. In every copy, 1977 through 2025, the pages are blank. Not white, not erased. Blank, as if the printer skipped them entirely. Yet the table of contents lists every name, every quote. Marisol Vega, Editor-in-Chief, signed the proof sheet on April 14, 1976. The printer swears the film was loaded. When the boxes arrive, page 42 is virgin paper, smelling faintly of developer fluid. No returns, no reprints. The books are distributed anyway. Seniors flip to their section and see nothing but their own reflection in the gloss. Louis Vega, voice trembling over Zoom. I have the 2000 edition. Page 42 is blank, but if you hold it to a black light, the shadows appear, 29 of them, same as the Polaroid. I tried to photograph it. The camera battery died at 9:17 a.m. Carla closes the final loop, recorded on November 14, 2025, at 11:57 p.m. tomorrow, marks 49 years. I'll stand on the 50-yard line at dawn. If the ring warms again, I'll know he's close. If the lights blink, I'll answer in Morse. I'm tired of waiting for closure that walks through walls. The decades collapse into one quiet exhale. Hope and dread braided so tight they feel like the same thread. The yearbook sits open under museum glass now, page 42 catching the glow of emergency exit signs. Visitors lean close, breath fogging the case, searching for faces that refuse to load. And somewhere, in a frequency just below hearing, the gym clock ticks once, 9:17, then stops, waiting for the next class to arrive. November 15, 2025. Dawn leaks gray over Willow Creek High, 49 years to the minute. A demolition crew idles in the parking lot, diesel engines rumbling like distant thunder. The plan: gut the old gym, pour a new foundation, bury the past under fresh concrete. Jackhammers bite into cinderblock dust blooms like chalk ghosts. At 8:47 a.m., the lead contractor, Ray Munoz, swings a sledge into the west wall and feels the give. Hallow. Wrong. The block crumbles inward, revealing a steel door none of the blueprints mention. Rust weeps down its face in frozen tears. A faded stencil reads, Fallout Shelter Capacity 30. The padlock snaps with one bolt cutter snip, as brittle as sugar glass. Ray shoulders the door. Hinges scream. Cold air rolls out, carrying the sweet rot of canned peaches and mildew. His headlamp slices the dark. A narrow corridor, 20 feet long, concrete sweating. Bunk beds line both walls, 6 tiers, rusted frames sagging under the memory of bodies. Blankets, olive drab, still tucked with military corners. A wall clock, analog, hands frozen at 9:17 a.m. Ray's breath fogs the temperature drops 10 degrees in a heartbeat. He whispers into his radio, "We got something." The crew files in, boots crunching on grit. Someone finds the pantry. Metal shelves, rows of cans labeled in faded ink, peaches, 1976 pineapple, 1976. Lids dimpled but intact. Syrup crystallized into amber jewels. Ray lifts one the label peels like old skin. Best by date, April 15, 1977. He sets it down gently, as if it might bruise. At the corridor's end, a circular alcove. The floor is polished, smooth, almost wet. In the center, 28 student ID cards, fanned in a perfect circle, laminates gleaming under headlamps. Tommy Alvarez, Lisa Chen, Marisol Vega, every name from the yearbook, photos crisp, senior smiles untouched by time. Mr. Hargrove's faculty badge sits at 12 o'clock, lanyard coiled like a snake. Ray kneels. The cards are warm, not body warm, fever warm. He flips Tommy's. The magnetic strip glows faint green when it catches the light. No one speaks. The only sound is the soft click of a GoPro starting its loop. Forensic techs arrive by noon, bunny suits rustling. They swab, photograph, and bag. DNA on the ID edges, positive matches, mitochondrial links to living siblings. But the cards themselves? Factory-sealed 1975 stock, no fingerprints, no smudges, no oxidation. Radiation levels, baseline normal, same as the parking lot. The canned peaches test edible, sugar content off the charts, preservatives pristine. A Geiger counter swept over the bunks registers nothing but the Earth's quiet heartbeat, then the handprints. Ray spots them first, high on the wall above the top bunk. Palm-sized, fingers splayed, pressed into 49 years of dust. Too small for adults, too deliberate for children. The techs measure, 4 inches across, dermal ridges visible. They dust for prints. Nothing. The concrete is porous any oils should have soaked in decades ago. Yet the outlines stay white, as if the wall itself refuses to absorb them. 28 prints, one for each student, climbing in a spiral that ends at the ceiling vent. The vent grate is welded shut from the inside. Ray's GoPro, chest-mounted, records everything. At 9:12 a.m. the corridor lights, emergency LEDs installed last week. Flicker once. 9:13 a.m. the temperature plummets again, his breath crystallizes midair. 9:14 a.m. the ID cards shift. Not much, just a millimeter, like a compass needle finding north. The circle tightens. 9:15 a.m. the canned peaches begin to sweat, beads rolling down the labels in perfect synchronization. 9:16 a.m. the clock hands twitch, trying to move, failing. 9:17. 00. The GoPro feed stutters. Frame 1. Ray's gloved hand reaching for Hargrove's badge. Frame 2. Static. Frame 3. The corridor is empty. Not dark, empty. Bunks stripped, cans gone. ID circle erased. The handprints glow faintly, then fade. Ray's voice, tinny through the speaker. What the cut to black. The timestamp freezes at 9:17:03. Battery readout, 97%. The memory card is blank except for those 3 frames. Techs will replay it 1,000 times and find no corruption, no overwrite, just absence. Ray stumbles backward into the gym, sunlight harsh after the shelter's gloom. The steel door stands open behind him, but the corridor beyond is bricked up, solid, no seam, mortar still wet. He swears he never turned away. The crew swears the same. A masonry expert arrives an hour later. The bricks match the original 1954 construction, complete with fossilized insect wings in the clay. Carbon dating will later confirm late April 15, 1976. The shelter is sealed again by dusk, this time with rebar and fresh concrete. Ray keeps the GoPro. That night, alone in his trailer, he plugs it into his laptop. The file is still 3 frames long. But if he advances frame by frame, something appears in the static. A silhouette, tall, thin, standing where the ID circle was. No face. Just the suggestion of a corduroy jacket, elbow patches catching a light that isn't there. At 9:17 p.m., the laptop screen flickers. The silhouette raises one hand, palm out. The print matches the wall exactly. Ray unplugs the camera. The trailer smells faintly of peaches. Dusk settles over the 50-yard line, the color of bruised peaches. The stadium is a bowl of shadows, goalposts like silent sentinels. No wind stirs the grass, even the crickets hold their breath. I stand where the Polaroid was found, toes on the chalk that is never quite washed away. 49 Novembers have come and gone, yet the turf remembers. It keeps the shape of 28 pairs of sneakers, faint indentations no mower can erase. The sky dims to the exact shade of a 1976 gym floor under fluorescent lights. Somewhere inside the school, the fallout shelter is concrete and rebar again, a secret poured over with silence. The ID cards, the canned prints too small for adult grief, all sealed behind a wall that wasn't there yesterday. Evidence becomes echo. Echo becomes hush. We chased every breadcrumb. The ring that warmed without a hand, the letter mailed from a future that never arrived, the dreams that crossed oceans in perfect unison, the tick-tock lights spelling a message no one taught them. We measured shadows, tested peaches, replayed 3 frozen frames until the pixels wept. Answers slid through our fingers like gym dust. Some doors close without sound, and the click is only in our imagination. Take a slow breath. Let the field hold you. These were children on the verge of everything. College applications half finished, prom dates circled in red, futures bright as flashbulbs. They stepped into a photograph and stepped out of time. Not stolen, not lost, simply elsewhere. The universe keeps its own yearbook, pages we cannot turn. Look up. The stadium lights are old, sodium vapor, the kind that hum like distant bees. Every November 15th at 9:17 a.m. sharp, they ignite on their own. No timer, no caretaker flipping the switch. Just a soft amber bloom across empty bleachers, lasting exactly 3 seconds, the length of a shutter click. Then darkness again, gentle as a held note. Groundskeepers have replaced the bulbs, rewired the grid, even cut the power at the pole. Still, the glow returns, faithful as sunrise. A postcard from wherever they are. The field exhales. Night insects begin their tentative chorus. You can almost hear sneakers on the track, laughter carried on air that smells faintly of tater tots and possibility. Almost. The moment passes and the quiet is complete. There is no final answer tonight, only the poetry of absence. 28 students, 1 teacher, 29 shadows. A circle of ID cards that rearranged itself into goodbye. A clock that tries, every year, to tick forward and cannot. Some mysteries are not puzzles but mirrors. We look, we see ourselves looking, and we learn to live with the reflection. If you know what happened to the class of 1976, if you dreamed the mouth, if you found a ring in your garden, if your watch stops at 9:17 a.m., the comments stay open. Whisper it there or carry it to sleep. The field will listen either way. Good night.